All right. Welcome in, everyone. We've got another deep dive today, and let me tell you, this one is juicy.
Oh, I can already tell. Lay it on me.
So we got a ton of articles from you guys about, Salman Khan.
Sure, Bollywood royalty, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, well, Ashneer Grover.
Oh, right, from Shark Tank India. And, well, he's known for not exactly holding back, right?
No, not at all. And that seems to be, well, at the heart of the drama here.
Trauma. Spill the tea.
It's all about Ashneer trying to get Salman on board as, like, a brand ambassador for his company.
Okay, that's not unusual, right? Lots of companies want that Salman Khan magic.
Yeah, but it sounds like things went, well, very south. And it all played out, at least in part, on a recent episode of Bigg Boss.
Oh, wow. So very public then.
Very. To understand how we got here, we need to rewind a bit, back to when Ashneer was on this podcast.
I think I remember hearing about this. He was pretty candid, wasn't he? About, like, the whole process and everything.
Oh, yeah, completely spilled the beans. So he's talking about trying to hire Salman, right? And he says that initially Salman's team quoted, like, a fee of 7.5 crore.
Whoa! That's a hefty price tag, even for Salman Khan.
Right, but then they eventually settled for 4.5 crore.
Still a massive amount, but I guess that's the going rate for a superstar.
Yeah, but the thing is, what really got to Ashneer wasn't the money. It was the fact that he couldn't get a photo with Salman.
Really? That seems, I don't know, a little petty, considering the crores involved.
Yeah, well, that's Ashneer for you. And apparently Salman's manager said something like, "Sir doesn't like it." And then Ashneer replied, "Go to hell. Why so much attitude?"
Oof. Okay, not exactly diplomatic. You think that's what sets Salman off?
Well, it certainly couldn't have helped. I mean, Salman Khan is like a major force in Bollywood. He's not just an actor. He's an icon.
Right, he's got a huge, dedicated fan base. You don't want to get on their bad side.
And then, of course, there was the whole showdown on Bigg Boss. Salman basically used his platform to publicly call out Ashneer.
Yeah, I read about that. He confronted him about those podcast comments. Didn't pull any punches, did he?
Nope. Called him out on the wrong figures about the fees, and even accused him of dogalapan, which basically means double standards.
Ouch. And I bet that played out in front of millions of viewers.
Yep, live TV. Salman even threw Ashneer's own words back at him. You know the part where Ashneer said choosing Salman was one of the smartest moves I made?
Talk about adding insult to injury. I mean, what was Ashneer thinking, saying all that on a podcast?
Who knows? Maybe he thought he could get away with it. Maybe he underestimated how much reach Salman has.
Or maybe he just thrives on stirring the pot. But either way, it seems like Salman had the last word.
For sure. And it's interesting because, people watching Bigg Boss noticed a shift in Ashneer.
Like he was intimidated.
Yeah, like a little, like subdued. Not the same brash, outspoken guy from the podcast.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's what Salman was going for. Like a show of force to kind of put him back in his place.
It's possible.
Yeah.
But this whole thing also raises questions about, authenticity.
Like, did Ashneer really think hiring someone was a smart move, or was he just trying to do damage control on Bigg Boss?
Exactly. Which brings us to the bigger picture here. What does this whole saga tell us about celebrity endorsements?
It's a messy world for sure. There's a lot at stake for both the brand and the celebrity. And clearly, there's this whole power dynamic that comes into play, especially when you're dealing with someone like Salman Khan.
Right. And it makes you wonder how often these kinds of clashes happen behind the scenes.
I bet more often than we realize. But usually, it doesn't spill out into the public like this.
And that's what makes this whole Salman Ashneer thing so fascinating, right? It gives us a glimpse into this usually very private, very high-stakes world.
Absolutely. And it's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, this whole Salman Ashneer thing, it really shows, what can happen when, these two worlds collide.
Right. But is this, a common thing?
Yeah.
Are we going to see more of these celebrity brand blow-ups?
Oh, I think it happens more than we realize, It's just that it usually stays, behind closed doors.
Ah, so this is just the tip of the iceberg, then?
Yeah, pretty much. And you know what? I think there are actually a lot of lessons we can learn from all this.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, remember a while back that whole thing with that famous athlete and that sports drink?
Oh, yeah, he was super into it, all about how it boosted his performance and everything.
Right, and then it turned out to be mostly sugar water.
Yeah, total scam. I bet that didn't go over well.
It was a disaster. He got slammed for promoting something that didn't, actually work and for basically misleading his fans.
And weren't a lot of his fans young kids who looked up to him?
Exactly. So, yeah, his image took a major hit, and so did the brand, obviously.
Did they ever recover from that?
I mean, it took years. They had lawsuits, boycotts, sales plummeted. Yeah, it was bad. Which I guess is a good lesson for brands, right? You got to make sure the product actually does what it says it does.
Yeah, makes